You're watching NFT Talk Photography with Brick Astley. GM, welcome to NFT Talk. I'm your host, Brick Astley. The purpose of this talk show is to highlight one-of-one art on exchange art and to talk one-on-one NFT art. Today's guest needs no introduction. He's the absolute legend himself, Douglas McCurdy, exchange art, and I really appreciate you being here to talk about your work.
Hey man, appreciate you having me on anytime, and I'm looking forward to chopping it up.
Most excellent. So you're just coming out. You're just coming in from the Hacker House last weekend. Can you tell me a little bit about how that was? I appreciate, I know you got the busy schedule, so I appreciate you fitting me in. But can you tell me a little bit about your Hacker House experience?
Yeah, man, no doubt. Hacker House was awesome, man. It was so cool to see my art that big and that badge, on those big screens, and while everyone was, pedal to the metal doing their work. And I was down in the basement. It was really cool. It was like Raj and the mayor's wife of New York City were chopping it up, talking right in front of my art, and got some news that some NBA players might be coming through. So it was just a really great experience. And that's my first Hacker House I've ever been to, so it was kind of cool seeing that. And the fact that I was just like 2 stops away on the subway, or 2 transfers, it was amazing. So just got to go see my art in kind of my backyard. It was really cool.
So what's the feeling of seeing, like, is it almost cathartic getting there and seeing your art there blown up there? You've got Raj there from Solana Labs. Like, what's that feeling? Because you started somewhere, you started at some point as a novice, but now you're this legendary photographer here. What's that feeling like?
It was pretty surreal, man. That's the biggest I've seen my art blown up. And even just a couple months ago, from selling my first NFT to now, it's time moves so fast in this space. So it was amazing. Before I hopped on Solana, I was working a day job and doing all this stuff on the side, and then I was going to commit like a whole year to taking these basketball photos. I thought somewhere someone might like these. Never had a sale before Solana, and then we're seeing it go from selling my first NFT now to this, and now, I mean, it's remarkable, man, for real.
This space does move lightning fast, and remarkable is the right term for your rise here on Solana. So for those that may be meeting you for the first time, how did you get into photography, and what brought you to exchange art?
Yeah, totally. So I was like a musician for like 20 years prior to picking up the camera. And basically I was just kind of losing my passion for it, and it wasn't really doing it for me in terms of my creative medium anymore. So about 2 years ago, I pivoted and picked up the camera for a more instantaneous form of art. But I mean, I guess looking back, I guess I've always had kind of an eye for it, even with my iPhone or shooting other things with my projects and stuff. But full on committed and put up music to the side in January 2020. Got my camera and just started shooting stuff, anything I could in the streets, or trying to arrange people to pose for me. Quickly hated that. It kind of felt like being in a band again, where people were late. I'd like coordinate this, that. So started shooting basketball rims and hoops just because it was something I liked, and then I just kind of kept going forward. And then COVID hit, so it was a nice thing to shoot that I didn't have to rely on anybody. I could take it anywhere and do anything with just me. So that was really great. What brought me to exchange, I started on Holoplex, and it just, it was a little too buggy for me. And exchange launched their auctions, and I wanted to hop on and try it. And the team's been great. The platform's been great. Being able to have direct communication with the people who run it, and them actually hear you, and it's been great. I've been loving exchange, and then the new UI that came out is fantastic.
It's definitely been a lot smoother, silky smooth. I agree everything with how exchange has been, just being there and being able to listen. So you have let's pull it up. I'm going to pull up your collection. Bear with me. Hoop World Volume 1. So you're tying your love of these basketball rims into photography. Tell me about this project and the ideas behind it. And I understand you're going around and replacing nets as well.
Yeah. So a big part of my art for this first auction was a portion of these sales were going to replacing nets in New York City. The winter just destroys them. Half these rims don't have nets anymore. The city doesn't really do much about it. So me and my friends are always like, we have some nets out. Like, this is ridiculous. So, through this to get it a little bigger and badder, we've gone ahead and started a 501c3 nonprofit organization. So I've already put a significant amount of money from these auctions into getting that in motion, and hopefully use this NFT platform to get some donations going, and use art to make an impact in people's lives, even if it's just a kid seeing that a rim was replaced through art. Maybe he could think, what can he do with art, or he or she can do art later in their lives. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna be as soon as it's still weather's still really cold and rainy out here. We don't want to put the nets up yet because it's just counterintuitive. But pretty much like next week or the week after, we're gonna start going out and on step ladders and putting up nets and stuff, and hopefully get donations or grants, and really make an impact. But this collection, yeah, was about, since I picked up the camera in January 2020, me taking these basketball photos, and to be honest with you, it was like, I don't know what compelled me to take these. Like, I wasn't trying to sell them. I wasn't trying to be a photographer. I was just like making art, and I was focused on trying to find like something to make me money so I could just make art freely. Like, I really like didn't want to shoot like weddings, or I didn't want to like do anything like that for photography, which is like a standard way to make money. You know what I mean? So, but then I was like, yeah, but for real, it's kind of just this collection is all about my daydreams, essentially. Like a lot of places, like this first one, if you stop right there, of down a little bit, the city skyline, which is my first Genesis piece. That's just a pier that I'd walk down to break up my work day and just dream about making art. And I'd always fantasize, oh, just imagine a basketball rim on this. Imagine people playing this right here, and just making that. You know what I mean? And that was, to me, it was like the perfect Genesis piece of like, that was just kind of my dreams. And then Solana pretty much changed that. You know what I mean?
So are these photoshopped basketball hoops on some of these? Because these are some really wild ones. Like, is that a basketball rim in there, or?
No, it's not. I got up and put on a step ladder and installed them with zip ties. The only thing I Photoshop out on this one is the apparatus. Like, so I just slightly removed the zip ties on that pole. Did some color correction and stuff. I used magnets. The Central Park one, or when I was in the snowstorm, was all magnets on those poles. So the subway was zip ties. So yeah, they're all, none of them rely on Photoshop. And I honestly, like, I kind of now wish I did do a lot of Photoshop, because I could do even more dream world and bigger and badder. So in the beginning, it's all guerrilla style, but maybe down the road, I'll do more Photoshop dreamy stuff.
I prefer the minimalist stuff like that, and I think it's so beautiful that it's art there. It's this physical piece that you took the photo of.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's kind of the art to me, to be honest with you, is like the process of it, the setting it up, the interaction of it in the street or whatever, or just the thrill of capturing it. Like, that's kind of the art more than the photo that comes of it. The photo's just capturing the moment.
So are you carrying this hoop around everywhere you go, or do you strategically think of these areas and then bring it out?
Sometimes I'll like aimlessly walk around with the rim around the city and place it and get some stuff, but I'll have like a whole day of that. Most of these shots are predetermined, and then I'll go out and capture them.
Beautiful collection. And tell me about this one, number 18. There's like no footprints. I always love these ones in the deserts. Is that here in the States, or is that like in the Sahara?
Yeah, I wish it was in the Sahara, man. No, those are the tallest sand dunes in North America, in Colorado. Great sand dunes of I think it's just national park, but yeah. So got out there as soon as I could, where the sand was soft, and jumped out of the car. Was a complete lunatic and didn't bring any water or sunscreen. I just literally brought my camera and a rim. My girlfriend was with me taking behind the scenes photos, and she's like, "God, you're fucking crazy," because this was before I even saw the piece. You know what I mean? And I was just throwing him, and I only had so many shots because I didn't want to ruin the smooth sand. I didn't want to get my footprints on it. And yeah, just complete like snapped as many as I could throwing this up. Um, yeah, I'm really stoked on the way these came out.
So can you tell me like the first sale that you're making, the first sale that you made on here, what was that feeling like?
Dude, it was insane because it was 2 weeks before Christmas. So I was flying home to California a couple of days later, and I was just like so excited to tell my family that like I made a sale on this. It sold for 5 SOL, and at that time it was 12.50, which was like insane. And but basically, like I was saying, like I was like preparing to like do a whole year. Like I was already eating ramen for 3 months before this to like stack money, and I was like, dude, I'm gonna do after COVID, man. I was like, dude, life is so short. Like I'm gonna just focus 1 year on these basketball rims and just see what happens. And I was planning on eating ramen for a year, just like taking these photos and selling like zines and t-shirts or something. And then like the clouds opened up and Solana came through. So I was ahead of schedule on that. And to have something sell like that was just was mind blowing. And then I just started seeing more lanes and more opportunities. And now it's kind of like obviously the photos are the art as well, but also like the way to play the NFT game is half the art as well. You know what I mean? The marketing, the interactions, and this community is so beautiful. Like sharing information, learning from each other, inspiring each other. So it really is. It really was amazing. When I came home to tell my family, it was more like what's a Solano? You know what I mean? They're like, how? So that's money? And I'm like, kind of, yeah, yeah, it's money. You know what I mean? Yeah,
No, congratulations. And like obviously it's escalated from 5 Soul since. Um
yeah,
you had a massive collaboration with John Lay, um, massive sale of 66.24 Soul. Can you tell
yeah.
me about that auction and how this collaboration came to be?
Yeah, absolutely. So John and I are best friends. We grew up together and started each other's creative journeys together. He grew up about a mile or two away from me, so we'd always hang out. We were in bands, and we never collaborated before. We like worked together, where like I would like make music for something he was doing, or like he would like do an album cover or something like that. But we never like collaborated. So it was a beautiful moment just in our friendship of being able to finally collaborate. You know what I mean? And John is the one who's like, "Hey man, come check out Solana." Like, and this was like before he even got a sale. You know what I mean? It was like we just hopped on and we're like, "Yo, this is cool. Let's see what happens." And then obviously John's blown up. It's amazing. But so yeah, it's like we've always just since that even before we had the sale, we were talking like, "Dude, we could do like a collab. We could build this world and all this stuff." So this piece is the Genesis piece for ongoing collaboration we have called Hollow City. It just falls into my Hoop World Volume 1. So it'll be me taking a lot of photographs and character based will be illustrated over it. It won't be basketball. It's just that it happened to fall into my basketball collection. But some crazy stuff like I'm gonna be like renting a helicopter and flying it over the city, getting overhead shots. And the character's gonna fall into the city, and we're just gonna have this ongoing um, collaboration series. And truly, it's just like you know relics of our friendship stuff. Like it's gonna be amazing. So we're really excited on it. But it's probably like a month, a couple months away.
We'll be looking forward to that to that coming out. So what's the feeling like working with a childhood friend and now you guys are making massive moves together? Um,
Yeah, it's insane, man. It's really cool that we get to navigate this space together and just another level of just being friends. You know what I mean? Like we're always in parallels in our creative fields. You know what I mean? So it's just really fun. And throw in Jamie, Visible Jamie, in the mix too. Like she's John's girlfriend, and she's a great friend too. So just like all of us being able to share notes, see what we're seeing, and just get feedback, man. It's awesome. We're always sharing each other's stuff to each other and just being like, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? So it's really great.
so would you say it's good to have then those networks that that help check and verify your work, or like not verify but like to collaborate with as a bouncing board? It seems like
I would
that
say it's very important for creatives to have people there that will like actually be honest about your work, not just being like, "Oh, this is great, man," because like they're, you know what I mean? Like everyone's going to tell you that unless they're like really comfortable or like, like I'm not looking for people to say my stuff is bad or anything, but I'm looking for honest feedback of like what I can do better or like how this is perceived, and not just like yes people, you know what I mean? So like, yeah, I would say it's very, very important for creatives. But with that being said, like, you don't have to like start with that in this space. Like you'll be able to meet people like this because we're all the same. We're all creative people like this. And, I've squatted up with a lot of people in this space. It's been beautiful.
So Hoop World Volume 1, oh, that's there now, but, looking ahead and actually, dropping what, March 31st, you've got Cloud 9. Let me pull those up. I've got a couple of, sneak peeks that you've been posting on, on the Twitter. So can you tell
Yeah.
me and the audience about Cloud 9 and this inspiration, continuing on with, the style with the basketball hoop?
Yeah, not only is Cloud Nine how I feel right now that I'm on Cloud Nine, that this is happening. It's amazing. I really wanted to kind of create an easier entry point for some people, as well as give immediate value to collectors. My last piece sold for 32, and we've had the 66 one with John, and I know some people are priced out, and this is kind of my way to make sure anyone that really wants one can get one. And I mean, right away, I feel like it'll be worth a lot for a collector. And I really think that you know having these 9 unique clouds, it's just kind of a fun, cool move, and I think it's an example of playing the NFT space a little bit as the art form. At first, it was the Hoop Roll Volume One was all these shots and all these photographs I was making, but this collection is tailored to NFT world. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, so we're gonna be releasing it, or I'm gonna be releasing it on Thursday, March 31st at 9 p.m. Eastern. Available for buy nows at 9. So I've never done buy it now, so I'm just another reason I don't want people to have to like worry about getting outbid. If they really want it, they can get it.
Excellent. So there's 9 pieces in it then?
Yeah, it'll be 9 unique one of one NFTs. So all different variations of these clouds and rims.
So I've got this one up. I apologize, I don't know the name, so I have it named differently, but,
Oh, that's all good. It's just cloud, like that one's cloud two. The one on the cover's cloud one. Um, so yeah, I'm not gonna release all 9 of them, I don't think, before, just a here and there, and then once it drops, have all 9 of them out.
most excellent. Can you tell me how
Yeah.
you create some of these images? Because this is beautiful art.
Thank
How
you.
are you getting the clouds? How are you getting the colors and tones?
Yeah, so the rim is held up by fish wire on a C stand, and like spinning around, moving it around. The clouds are on fish wire as well. Cotton balls behind like a blue backdrop with lights above it. And yeah, so really, really kind of practical effects.
No, I love it. It's super easy, super practical. Not easy. I don't want to say easy, but it's practical for what you're doing in such high quality. Very, very inspirational to me in the space and to others like me in the photography space. And I think you touch on a great point of making something that's like, been influenced by the community, by the NFT community. Um, I think that it will
Yeah.
resonate with people, and I love that you're doing it as buy now. Makes it a better entry point for others that may get priced out. Um,
Yeah.
let's see. Do you have any advice for anybody that's entering the space? Maybe they just started. They've been doing photography or maybe any kind of art, traditional art. Um, what is some of your advice for entering into the NFT space?
Yeah, definitely. I would say get involved, make friends. At the end of the day, like we're all the same kind of people. We're all like-minded creative people in one space. That's the most beautiful thing in the world. I think really, you know, don't go into it so much just to try to make a buck. You know what I mean? Try to really be a part of this. This is awesome. And give a clear once you've kind of built a little hype or relationships or friendships, give a clear roadmap of your collection and work. And stick to a constant release pattern. For instance, like if you're doing 10 photos, let them know when and which photos are coming when, so collectors can have liquidity. And if your first piece doesn't sell for a lot of money, don't get discouraged. Think of that as a good thing. You just gave someone an opportunity to invest into you. And then, as your collection goes and it sells more, that first person that took a risk on you is going to be that much more excited and show you more. And it's a win-win. You know what I mean? So I just think be genuine, don't be discouraged, and just have fun with it.
I think those are some wonderful notes to close on. Douglas, I really appreciate your time talking about your work, talking about your background, and being on Cloud9 and what we can see coming forward. Looking forward to that, and looking forward to the Hollow World. Hollow World, correct?
Hollow City.
Hollow City. I apologize.
Yeah, no worries.
Apologies. Hollow City collaboration with John Lay. I know everybody's going to be looking forward to those. And with that being said, take care of yourself, take care of others, take care of Mother Earth, and do a little bit of trash pickup, because without her, none of this is going to be possible. None of this would be possible. So always, always GM.
Thank you, bro. Peace.